Spring chores are never just mowing. It's trimming, it's edging, it's blowing off driveways and patios, it's cleaning up leftover leaves, it's dealing with grass clippings, and it's trying not to turn the whole thing into a battery swapping headache. So in this video, I'm going to make this really simple. I think a lot of people make this same mistake. They shop one tool at a time. They get fixated on the mower, and they never stop to ask whether the whole setup actually makes sense. I'm breaking the EGO lineup at Lowe's into good, better, and best setups. And by the end, you'll know which one I think makes the most sense for your yard, your budget, and the kind of spring cleanup you're actually doing. But before we get started, I want to give a special thanks to Lowe's Home Improvement for sponsoring this video. And if you'd like to shop for any of the products that we talk about, you can check them out using the YouTube shopping button, or the link in the description will take you right to my Lowe's storefront collection for this video. Now, I've used all of these EGO tools, and what I've learned is pretty simple. The best setup is not always the most expensive one. And I'll tell you right now, one of the smartest values in this whole lineup is not the fanciest mower. It's actually in the middle of this list. So let's get started with the good setup. For the mower, I'd go with the EGO 21-inch push mower. At the time we're filming this, it's $449. To me, this is the right mower for somebody who wants a legit EGO mower that comes with all that great cut quality, but does not want to jump straight to a self-propelled priced mower. You're still getting a 21-inch deck. You'll still get up to 55 minutes of runtime. You'll still get mulching, bagging, and side discharge. And Lowe's listed for roughly a quarter acre to a half an acre yard. So for a smaller to a medium-sized yard, this is a very easy mower to justify. Then I'd pair it with the EGO trimmer and blower combo kit. At the time we're filming this, that combo is $279. And this is why I think the good setup makes a lot of sense. You're not just buying a mower, you're getting a full spring cleanup starter setup. This combo gives you the 15-inch POWERLOAD trimmer and the 615 CFM blower. And for a normal spring cleanup around sidewalks, beds, patios, and the driveway, this is a useful level of power. The POWERLOAD feature on the trimmer is also one of those things that sounds small until you actually live with it, because anything that makes restringing easier is a win. Now, there is a trade-off here. The combo kit comes with one 2.5 amp hour battery and one charger for those handheld tools. So this is absolutely the setup for the person who cares about the most value. You're getting into the platform in a smart way. You're getting the mower, you're getting the trimmer, the blower, but you're not buying the most battery heavy setup. And for a lot of people, that's perfectly fine. Especially if your yard is smaller, especially if the cleanup is pretty routine, and especially if the main goal is to get a complete EGO setup without overspending. So your good setup is the push mower at $449, plus the trimmer and blower combo at $279. That puts you at $728 total. Now, who is this for? Smaller to medium yards, flatter yards, and people who want the smartest, low-cost way into EGO for spring chores. Who should skip this? Anybody who already knows they hate pushing a mower, or anybody who wants more battery flexibility right away. Now, let's move to the better setup. And this is where I think ownership experience starts feeling noticeably easier. For the mower, I'd step up to the EGO 21-inch self-propelled touch drive mower. At the time we're filming this, that mower is $599. And this is the kind of upgrade you feel immediately. Not because the mower suddenly turns into a completely different machine, but because self-propelled mowing just takes some of the friction out of the job. You get touch drive self-propelled control. You get up to 60 minutes of runtime, and Lowe's list it for roughly a half an acre to 1 acre yards. So right away, this is a better fit for the person who wants mowing to feel easier week after week. Then I'd add the standalone POWERLOAD trimmer. That one is $199. And I like this move because now the trimmer has its own battery and charger. That matters more than a lot of people think. It means the setup starts feeling more organized. It means less sharing, less waiting, less battery juggling. And when you're trying to get through mowing, trimming, and cleanup in one shot, that convenience adds up. Then for the blower, this is the deal I would actually buy. Lowe's is showing a bundle version of the 765 CFM blower with an extra 2.5 amp hour battery. At the time we're filming this, that bundle is $319. And to me, this is the smart buy in the whole middle tier because you're not just stepping up to a stronger blower. You're also improving your battery situation for the rest of your spring cleanup. That blower gives you up to 765 CFM, up to 200 miles per hour, and up to 90 minutes of average runtime with the included 5 amp hour battery. So now you're in a setup that feels stronger on heavier debris, better on wet leaves, and a lot easier to live with overall. And that extra 2.5 amp hour battery in the bundle is a big part of why I like it so much. So if you add it up, your better setup is $599 for the mower, $199 for the trimmer, and $319 for the blower bundle. Yes, this is a jump from the good setup, but this is also the first setup where I can really say you're paying for less hassle, not just more specs. You're paying for self-propelled comfort, you're paying for better battery flexibility, and you're paying for a stronger cleanup tool. And who is this for? This is for a homeowner that wants the setup to feel easier, faster, and less annoying over time. Who should skip this? If your yard is pretty small, pretty flat, and budget matters more than comfort, the good setup is still a smarter buy. But if you want my honest opinion, this is the tier where the lineup gets really interesting. Now, for the best setup. Let me say this right up front. This is not the setup most people need, but if you want the premium EGO spring chore setup at Lowe's, this is the one I'd build. Here goes. For the mower, I go with the 22-inch aluminum deck self-propelled model. At the time we're filming this, that mower is $1,099. And this is clearly premium territory. You're getting the larger 22-inch deck. You're getting the cast aluminum construction. You're getting up to 70 minutes of runtime with the included 10 amp hour battery. And Lowe says it delivers 11.1 foot-pounds of cutting torque. It also carries a lifetime deck warranty when you register it, which helps justify why it sits in a different category than the other mowers on this list. Then for the blower, I'd go with the 880 CFM model. At the time we're filming this, that one is $379, and this is clearly the premium handheld blower in the group. You're getting up to 880 CFM, up to 200 miles per hour, a digital display, and 2 included 4 amp hour batteries. That matters because now you're not just buying more blower power, you're also buying a premium battery setup that supports the rest of your yard work. Then I'd round it all out with the same power load trimmer at $199. And that gives you a clean premium setup without having to overthink it. So your best setup comes out to $1,099 for the mower, $379 for the blower, and $199 for the trimmer. That puts you at $1,677 total. If I had to sum this whole thing up into one sentence, it would be this: good is the value play, better is the sweet spot, and best is the premium flex. And if you ask me where I think most people should land, I'd say the most homers should either buy the good setup or stretch to the better setup if they really want self-propelled comfort and a stronger blower. But I want to hear from you in the comments. How big is your yard? And which setup you'd actually pick? Good, better, or best? And if you'd like to shop any of these tools, you can use the YouTube shopping button or the link in the description will take you to my Lowe's storefront collection for this video. Thanks again to Lowe's Home Improvement for sponsoring this one, and I hope to see you all on the next one.